Respectable members, I'm here today to deliver yourselves the most important strategic action plan that has ever been made by this Council since the day of its establishment. The focus of this plan is the global crisis that our world is facing now. But I'm not going to mention the reasons of this economical crisis or its conventional and possible solutions. These have been talked over all over the world. Academic analysis in depth have been made. Huge budgets have been assigned to stop the crisis. Some countries have taken less damage in this earthquake, and some have nearly and totally collapsed, in spite of all remedial actions taken. During this period, certain intellectual cycles even argued that the final corruption of the capitalistic system was at stake, and the ultimate solution was the Marxist ideology. It is evident that the states intervening to save the banks in bankruptcy and also to stop the crisis affecting the real sector supported these reforms. The only truth among all this turmoil is that the system is at a dead end and is in chronic trauma. However, respectable members, the roots of this crisis are not in the uncontrollable finance system, but lies in the deepness of structural and malfunctional corruptions. We do not have a total collapse resulting from economical parameters only. Behind the tragedy that we are facing now, the problem is not only the sunken mortgage loans, the stock market ruins, the collapse of derivative products, and some countries and companies taking these worthless assets called toxic values into their portfolio. The problem is not an ideological one either. There is no mistake in the basic logic of capitalism. The real problem, respectable members, is that the system has completed its natural lifespan. And the liberal system, forgetting about moral values, complicating the mechanism with the vicious cycle that itself created. This mechanism, left uncontrollable, has created new financial assets, one after the other, to maximize the profits, and finally, it has become a playboy in the hands of the speculators. Excuse me, as these assets are out of the control of the state. And in the end, it has come to the point of destruction, completing its lifetime. We all know the consequences as a result of all these. A global economical system in uncontrollable crisis, where the investors and the politicians do not give a damn about any moral value. However, ladies and gentlemen, what a dramatic dilemma it is that what all we are living at the center of this Armageddon signifies a totally natural process. The system was going to collapse anyway, as the economical systems, like all the organic systems, are born, grow up, get old, and finally die. Mercantilism, having its run between the 16th and the 18th centuries, the protectionism between the two great world wars, then the following Bretton Woods system are good examples of this. The crisis we live today signifies the unavoidable consequence of the uncontrollable globalization period that has started in early 70s. Economical systems do have their own periods like the cycles of the nature. Every death is followed by a new birth. every destruction is followed by a new outburst. Resurrection exists in the nature of the system. Our system has reached the ultimate point and is about to die. Therefore, dear members, with this justification and rationale, we have to collapse the system ourselves with our own will and initiative, in order that our good old world would not have to bear a long and a bitter destruction period. Our system is like a patient in intensive care now, already having undergone the brain death. There is only a single thing left for us to do in order not to have the patient suffer more, to unplug the supporting animation systems, to realize another form of organism reincarnating in a different life, in a different dimension. I already know that there will be strong objections for this point of view, but I want to remind your good selves that my viewpoint is totally supported by scientific facts. It is not something new to know that a system has to die totally before a rebirth. About 70 years ago, the great economist Joseph Schumpeter was exactly telling this when he announced his theory about creative destruction. According to this theory, the new values, institutions, and methods take the place of those that have completed their function by destroying them without any pity. Schumpeter calls this process the creative destruction. This is such a destruction that it buries the previous system with all of its mistakes under the ruins of history and creates a new one. We are different from Schumpeter. We believe that the system has to be terminated now by evolution. Not by evolution, but a revolution. At this point, what we need is a destruction exactly of this type, a creative one. Today, capitalistic system is like computer operation systems that has been infected and invaded by viruses. The only thing to do is to